I'm 27 years old. And I have cystic fibrosis.
As a kid, Farrel was very vivacious. She laughed all the time. She woke up in the mornings in a great mood. Hardly ever did she ever, have a wake up in a bad mood, but she was just a well-rounded child. Farrel has dealt with cystic fibrosis extremely well. It's never slowed her down. Just thinking, they told me I wouldn't have her over 10 years. So you think, well, she'll get into those sweet little years, when she's 7 years old or 8 years old, and that's when you'll lose her. If she passes away, I will be glad for the time. And I hope to be with her. It's something that you can't tell people. You can't tell them what it's like. But she keeps me up most of the time. She does better than I do. She keeps a great attitude.
My mom and dad were very careful to raise me, knowing that I had it. And kind of the mentality that I had was I wasn't any different.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease. It's one of the more common genetic diseases that affects the function of the lungs because the lungs can't clear out the mucus because it gets too thick. And it also affects pancreatic function, so it affects the ability to absorb fat, also affects the body's ability to make insulin. So coughing hard?
Yes.
A couple of days?
Coughing really hard.
What's coming up?
Nothing. It's
Okay.
not productive. As you know, I work for a chiropractor.
Right.
When I went into work last Tuesday, I was bent over. I wasn't able to stand up straight, and I didn't know what was wrong. And I went in, and he kind of felt around on my back and everything. I had popped 5 ribs out in the back, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. I'd popped them out of socket, and I have 2 bruised ribs up front. And he said that he had felt around and that I had a micro tear in my diaphragm.
Besides the pancreas and the lungs that CF affects is the sinuses, and Farrel's had a lot of sinus disease. And there's an overlap with asthma as well. So the first time I met Farrel, there seemed to be a pretty strong asthma component, allergy component, and sinusitis component. Farrel had one culture that was positive for cepacia. The concern with cepacia is that depending on which type of cepacia it is, it's a very, very bad bug to get. It likes to live in lungs that are already abnormal, and certainly most folks with CF have some degree of abnormal lungs. But if Farrel or anybody needed to progress on to lung transplant, that it would eliminate her as a candidate.
Is the pain from the inside or is it muscular from the cough?
It feels like somebody has sandpaper and they're rubbing it on my lungs.
Okay.
One of the things that concerned us about Farrel is that when we had first met her, it seemed like her lung function had taken a significant drop, but still normal. So if we had just met her new, we would say, oh, you have normal lung function, this is perhaps less to worry about. But since we knew from before, from other centers that she had been at, that her lung function had been higher, it was a little bit concerning to us.
These are the medications that I take every day: Zopanex, Pulmazine, Advair, doxycycline, acidophilus probiotics, pancreacarb, azithromycin, Singulair, and last but not least, tobramycin. I'm on that 1 month on and 1 month off. Sometimes the hardest part about having CF is that people just don't get it. It looks like a cakewalk. It looks like, oh, the kid coughs a lot, but you can't show people the pain. You can't show people how tired you are and how frustrated you are.
Farrel's worked for me for about 2.5 years total. Farrel's job description is more or less running this office. I may be the doctor, but whatever Farrell does at the front desk dictates whatever else goes on in here. Farrell is the kind of person that when you ask her to do something, she does it with a smile. Every day that she has an issue, it's noticeable to us because we see her all the time, but she pushes through it no matter what. She's a very trustworthy person and somebody that I think is a big asset to my office. Without her, I really don't know that this place would run well.
Awesome. I'm living with cystic fibrosis. I don't know if it doesn't affect me as much as it should, but I don't let things get me down. Or I try not to let things get me down. I try my hardest not to. I'm a very happy person. I like how he's just like... There are times when you're so exhausted from not sleeping and your body hurts from coughing and throwing up and just being sick, and you're so tired of being sick that you can't not get down, that you can't not have a day every once in a while when you just want everybody to leave you alone. But they're very few and far between. Being sick kind of becomes the normal. And so it takes being really, really sick, because I never feel good. I never can breathe. I can never take a deep breath. I never feel energetic necessarily. But you get to the point where that becomes normal, so you're happy anyway, and it takes getting really, really sick to really remember that there's anything wrong. I don't like to say that I can't do things having cystic fibrosis because I try anyway. I enjoy traveling. I love to travel and take pictures. Aside from that, I like to play volleyball. I enjoy live events, really doesn't matter what. Like, I like going to sports games. Live music is my absolute favorite. And spending the time with the people that I love the most. I love having my friends around me. They don't treat me any different, and that's what I want. I don't want to be treated different because I don't want to think about having it either.
Farrel and I met a couple of years ago, back in 2006, I believe. I was a patient at the doctor's office where she works currently. Over the course of many visits, I became friends with her. We just would chat. She has this aura about her.
I have known Farrel for, 10 years. 10 years we've been friends. We met working in a mall Chick-fil-A when we were 16. Farrel has probably one of the biggest hearts of anybody I know. She's always been a good friend to anyone. I mean, I can't imagine anyone having a bad thing to say about her. Farrel is very involved with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Did you really? I really did. I do a lot of guest speaking, a lot of fundraising, and one of my favorite events every year is the Great Strides Walk for a Cure. I usually put together a team of 20 to 30 people, and this year the Fort Worth chapter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation actually raised $225,000 toward helping people like me breathe easy.
It's something that has never stopped her from living her life. Because this is one person who, unlike the majority of us, understands that life is short.
I would have to take comfort in the fact that even though my dear friend was gone and it would kill me, I guess I would just have to take comfort in the fact that she was finally cured.
It would be devastating to know that there would be so many people out there that didn't have the pleasure to meet her. And that's what would hurt the most.
The way that I see it is everybody has a life expectancy. It's however long God wants you here, and He's going to take you whenever He's ready. And so I figure you might as well enjoy life and everything that it has to offer as long as you're given the opportunity to be here.